I'm going to tell you guys what they're saying, but I want to start by finishing off what they cut off. They cut off my video last night, and I had to wait for a video to load in order to finish this comment. They started telling the elementary school made things, it seems in 2016, about what happened on my job. Then they wanted to try to get in contact with me to make it seem like I was the one who told her these things. Do you understand what I mean? So instead of it being them telling her things, they wanted to look like I told her these things. And some things she knew that I didn't know. So when they started talking out loud, they said that they thought people would think I would be the one out loud saying these things. How could I talk about things I don't know? So right now they just said forbidden knowledge, meaning they're quoting me to me. Part of why that's important, besides the fact that they're giving her information that I wouldn't have known, and I'm telling you guys information that I wouldn't have known, and why they're quoting me to me, is because they're not the ones giving me ideas. I'm giving them ideas. So when they're starting all of this drama and they're trying to get me upset about what people are doing, like I said on the bus, for example. Another example, I'm going to link the video from the 2019 bus scam, is that was the goal. And they're doing the same tricks over and over again, which is the very definition of crazy. Part of what this is supposed to do, they said, is to get me to a point where I won't react when something bad is happening to me. And part of what I think is ridiculous about that is that if something bad happened to me and they said I told them this happened, then I did react. So why lie to me about me? And that's what I'm saying. There's something in them that thinks they know more about me than me. And they said that this gets them upset about me because I am able to see them. That's pretty much it. I'm able to see them, who they are. And that upsets them about me. And they said I smirk. You find a video where you see me smirking, and I'm going to link a video of what a smirk is. I think I did this before, but again, with them, you go over the same thing over and over and over, and no one wants to be around that. So part of what upsets them is that I see them for who they are, and they don't want me to tell the rest of the world because their scam only works if we don't know. Once we know, you can't unknow something. And part of why they're upset with me, and there, like, for example, I think there are people out there who know me, obviously, and been around me for a long time. What they're upset about is they thought the high school situation was so bad. I think that was the goal. It was to make it seem so much worse than it was what it turned out to be in terms of how we handled it. I think when I look back on me at 17 and I can see, I kind of am happy it worked out the way it did. And I keep saying this. And I'm surprised that at 17, I knew how to do something. Do you know what I mean? I think the goal was for me to do nothing. And by doing something, it worked out better than I thought it did. And so when they're trying to go back and say, well, this wasn't right or that wasn't right, it actually was right. Because part of what these people wanted to do is criticize what happened without putting their input into it. Meaning, had they not done these things for years and it not added up, it would have been a disaster in 1991, but it wasn't. The other big deal about that is that if we as adults can look back and say, well, we should have seen 2024 happening based on 1991, and we can kind of look at this, the connection and see it, then we know that there was something wrong with what happened in 91, but we worked on it, but it didn't get better. It got worse over the years. And that's part of what I'm trying to bring out, that something started happening to our American society. And things weren't perfect, but there was something that held things together, whereas the things that are happening today, we wouldn't even think of it happening back then. And part of what I'm saying is I think that my grandmother's generation knew how to deal with things. Part of it, I think, was that they came out of reality and they stayed in reality. They weren't these types of people where everything's like, oh, we're going to become like, computers. No, no, we're not going to become like computers. And I think part of why it's failing today is that we're slowly coming back to a reality that we couldn't